In this how-to video, we're going to be taking a look at a couple tricks for scrolling effects. On the desktop version of my site, when you scroll on any page, you'll see that the navigation is locked in place. Pretty cool. Now, this is done in Muse. This is done in Muse by clicking right there. So this object is pinned to the top. Very, very simple. Cool. Now, when I began putting together my phone and tablet versions, I had the intention of pinning the navigation in a similar way. What I wanted to do was, as you scrolled, this navigation on the left would stay, the bar would stay locked in place. My photo, my info, that would slide up, and as soon as the navigation hit the top, that would stay locked in place. And as you would scroll more and more and more, the navigation will always be there. I wanted to do the similar thing with the phone. It turns out Adobe has removed this feature for mobile versions. So for tablets and phones, you are unable to pin. There is a way around this though. So this bar, for example, I wanted that to be pinned. So you can go to Scroll Effects, click on Motion, and set all of these to 0. Now when you scroll, this will stay pinned. And it does work on iOS, Android. I've tried a whole bunch of different browsers. It works across the board. So I don't know why they took this out. Now, as for the navigation, let me actually just show you that working. So you can see, there we go. Very, very simple effect. Very, very, very cool. Now, if you look at some other online how-to videos for this, you're going to see probably how to do this in the first version of Muse, which Adobe has now completely flip-flopped it. And to explain this a little bit better, here's the navigation, and I have set the motion here. I've clicked on motion. Now 1 means the regular speed. If I were to do 0.5, that's half the speed. So as I would scroll, this object would scroll at half the speed as everything else around it. But that's not what I want. I want regular speed. Now here's where, this is what I was talking about with the original version of Muse. The keyframe. Okay, see this little thing here? In the original version of Muse, I would want to set this at 0. And then you set the final motion at 0. What this means is, initial motion is 1, so as you begin to scroll, this object scrolls along with everything else at the same motion, at the same speed as everything else. And the key position up here, once it reaches that top key position, it will then go at a speed that you tell it to down here for final motion. And in this case, I have both set to 0, which means it will stop. And everything else will keep scrolling, and that will stay locked in place. Cool. Except in the new version of Muse, that is not the case. This, you can kind of think of it like a margin. Right now, if I were to publish this from here to here, that's like a margin where this thing cannot move anymore. So I actually want to bring this key position there. So now that is the position where, as you move this up, when that key position hits the top up here, that's when it will stop. I much preferred the original version that I've been watching all these how-to videos on. The original version, how you did this, the original way that Adobe set this up, that makes much more sense. This new way doesn't make sense to me, but that's how you do it. And that's it.